Okay, can we hear me now? Maybe someone can let me know if you can hear me. Sometimes I feel like the comments are a little delayed. Oh my gosh, was I talking this whole time and nobody could hear me? It was good stuff. Um, okay, I think it's connect. No, still can't hear me. It looks like my volume is there now. Yes. Okay, gosh. Thank you, Bonnie. Thanks so much. All right. Let's start again. I think that whole thing was me not talking to anybody. I am excited to share with you the Lovely Blossoms Sweet Collection. So beautiful. I was just chit-chatting about the weather, just going on, so you didn't miss too much. So thanks so much for joining me today. I have 3 beautiful cards to share with you with this beautiful suite. So I hope that you stick around and get some ideas and inspiration for this suite. And yes, other things that are going on in the Stampin' Up! World is if you want to place an order before February 2nd, you still bonus days, and you can get $6 coupon here in Canada for every $60 you spend. If you, oh my, everything's beeping at me here. If you, what else is going on? Ooh, next month there's a join offer. So if you love Stampin' Up! And want to be a part of Stampin' Up!, maybe you're starting seeing things out there, but there's a brand new Stampin' Positioner that's going to be exclusive gifts to people who sign up to be a part of Stampin' Up! Next month. So I'd love for you to sign up for my team or check things out, and then you can get the Stampin' Positioner. Demonstrators are able to pre-order them up until the 2nd, I believe. And so I have one coming, and so I'll be playing with it and hoping to share some ideas with you. Okay, I'm just going to get to my desk. I have, for the last couple weeks, I don't know, I've been trying out new technology, and it doesn't seem to matter. Like every week I'm like trying something new, and you know how it goes. You're tweaking, figuring things out. And so I'm hoping that we're good now for sound. And I think I figured out my camera issues that I've been having for the last couple times. And I'm getting this notification beeping constantly. Okay. All right. Hopefully everything's working out. You guys can let me know in the comments if things are working out or not. Please, I appreciate it. Okay. This is the Lovely Blossoms Designer Series paper. So like I said, this is part of the January online exclusives, and it's an incredible suite. And I think it's the color combination that really sets this one apart. So it is Secret Sea. Actually, here, I'm going to show you this little color swatch here. This is a two-tone cardstock. So there's actually a scrapbooking kit that goes along with this suite, which is also beautiful. But because of that, there's a collection of two-tone cardstock. And it's a great way to see what the colors are in the suites. You have Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, Old Olive, Crumb Cake, and Petal Pink, which aren't those beautiful together? And so that's what you get in the DSP. And the DSP is a little different in the sense that there's 4 patterns. So you get 3 of every pattern instead of the typical 6 designs and then 2 of each. And so this one's fun because you've got this full, like, what's the word I want? Where it just makes, like, card fronts. I'm trying to get my words together. Card fronts. So obviously you've got some 4x6 ones and some 3x4s and then some cute 2x2s that will be awesome to make some cards with. And so I'm not going to be making any cards with these kind of completed pieces, but just know that they'd be fun to layer up together, and to make some quick cards, you could just add a little sentiment on there. Then we have this one here with the big flowers. I love this one with the crumb cake because it kind of plays off as a neutral. So that's really fun. And then this one is beautiful with the flowers. And our backside, of course, is our coordinating patterns, which we're going to be using, I think all of these today. All 4 are going to work into our cards today. So that is the paper. The bundle has been one of my favorite ones so far. So this is the stamp set, or the bundle is called Lovely Arrangements. And I think it's the sentiments that sells it, really. So it's got awesome sentiments, really perfect for so many occasions. And it's the font, right? The font is so nice. And then you've got these 2 cute flowers to play with. And then the dies, you've got your label pieces, a couple little leaves, and then your outlines. But then again, what sells this is these two kind of unique dies that are fun to create some backgrounds, and so we're going to use both of those today as well. This suite also comes with an embossing folder, which I've used a few times because I love it. Lovely stripes. And it comes with gems, of course. So these are called the Moody Palette. Yep, Moody Palette Glossy Dots. So white cloud cover, Old Olive, Secret Sea. And you can color the white ones with your Stampin' Blends, so keep that in mind. And then this incredible ribbon in cloud cover. Look how pretty that is. So we're going to use that a little bit today. All right, so let's get to our cards. So the first one, we are going to, I got my pieces here. Let's start by stamping. And what I wanted to show you was that a simple, fun way to stamp your flowers to get yourself going is to just stamp on designer series paper. So this is the back side of this one, and so it's petal pink, and it has like a nice subtle pattern on it. And so we're gonna take our two flower images, which I've kind of already got ready to go, and we're gonna stamp in Secret Sea. And we're just gonna stamp them right onto the paper. And so I want one of the full-size ones and two of the smaller ones. Does anybody have this suite yet? Are you playing with it? Have you made any cards? We're gonna cut these out now. Next month, Stampin' Up! Is releasing another one of their craft classes. So I don't know if you've heard of their craft classes where they take a suite and then they make some more fun, elaborate projects with it. So they've done two already, so this will be their third class. And so next month, next week, watch for details about a class featuring this suite here. So we'll just use our dies, if you can see that. And this one here, there's kind of these bigger ones, and so that's kind of what I'm aiming for. And I feel like I get it wrong 50% of the time. So I feel like if this is wrong, then I just turn it around, and then that's right. So that's how I've been lining those ones up. And then if you need like masking paper or washi tape or a Post-it to hold those in place, that'll help you keep them in place. I'm just gonna run mine through quickly here, and then we're gonna cut out this next one. And so with these lined stamp sets, we're gonna do one other technique today, but if you're not into coloring or any of that kind of thing, then this is a fun way to instantly add some color to your flowers with kind of little effort on your part. So that's always fun. All right, so let's move that out of the way. And that's the hardest part of this card. Oh no, we also need to emboss. Here, let's bring that machine back out. Okay, so remember that lovely stripes embossing folder. So we'll grab that, which I put somewhere. There it is. And then I want a piece of cloud cover cardstock. So I'm not using the two-tone. This is the full cloud cover. And I would recommend, the full strength cardstock. The regular cardstock, because this embossing folder goes pretty deep. So I haven't tried it with the two-tone, but I'm wondering if it might tear it or something. But just plate 1, your embossing folder, then plate 4 on top. And I've already used this like almost every week since this catalog came out, but I love it. It's got great texture to it. It's like really, it makes it really soft and bendy though too, so that's kind of nice. And all right, so let's start putting some things together. So I'm going to be using a Secret Sea card base, so 5.5 by 8.5, and it looks like I just need to score it here. So I will score it at 4 1/4. And this piece of cardstock is 3 3/4 by 5. So if you wanted to just leave it like that, you could. I'm gonna just step it up one notch here by adding some cloud cover two-tone. So I'm going to use the light side. And so this is 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm going to mat those together. And I just need to reach over for my seal. Excuse my arm there. Now, my recommendation, just go slow when you have textured paper, otherwise it could tear, especially going down the stripes. So just kind of take it slow and easy, and then you should be good. And so we'll mat that onto our cloud cover, and then we can put this onto our card. And these two blues, I'm not usually a blue person, but the cloud cover and Secret Sea are just two of the prettiest blues that Stampin' Up has had. I love them. So next we want to add a little bit of interest with a pattern. So I have chosen this crumb cake pattern, and I have cut it out with the cute little, oh, I forget the name of them. The Just a Note, I think they're called. Just a Note dies. Yes, Just a Note dies. So the stamp set has retired for these, but the dies have not. And I can't resist anything that has a cute little like binder clip and paper clips. Come on, so adorable. So this is what the die looks like. So I just went and ran that through. You could just cut a basic rectangle if you don't have that die, and that is fine as well. And then we just need some dimensionals. And I'm gonna put dimensionals on the back of this. And we're gonna load her up. And this is just essentially creating a backdrop for your flowers. So if you want to put it straight, you can put it straight. I'm going to put mine a little bit at an angle, but you can do whatever you want. Okay, so then we have our 3 flowers, and then the next thing we want to do is cut out some leaves. And so I just want to show you a little tip here. Let's move those out of the way. So just grab our machine again. And if you got the Currently Loving two-tone cardstock with this suite, then you would have all this coordinating paper to kind of go with all your projects. And so we've got these cute little leaves, and I'm just gonna take some old olive cardstock, and with the two-tone cardstock, so I'm gonna cut out a couple. I've already cut out a few. So I've cut some with the light side up, and I'm gonna cut some with the dark side up, and then you have some contrast. And you can actually cut 2 sheets together with the two-tone cardstock. And it actually works, and you even get the cut detail on that second layer. So if you were making multiples or something and didn't want to cut a million, or why not just cut 2 out, and then you can have a little stash for when you are creating your cards. So we'll just pull those off. And then they just kind of stick together, but you got your 2. And this is the bottom one, and you can see it still cut all the detail through there. So then if you have a mix of the dark side up and then the light side up, then you can kind of mix and match them together. Let's grab my other one here. All right. Let's grab the card again. So we'll just set everything up here. So I'm going to put just seal on the back of my flowers, or glue, or whatever adhesive you like. And then I'm going to grab some glue dots, which are also way up here. So grab those. And then just to make it easy on myself, I'm just going to tuck these all into a glue dot. If you don't like glue dots, I just recently learned that some people don't like glue dots. I didn't even know that was possible. I love glue dots. I love glue dots. Okay. So we can just kind of have them all ready to go. And I'm just kind of loosely put these on. So I want, let's see, the half flower, the full flower, and then we're going to have another half flower down here. And then I'm just gonna alternate. So I'll take a light single leaf and I'll put it with a dark double leaf. And then we'll tuck one kind of behind there. And then we can just do the opposite. And we can have one behind this guy. And then I've got one too many here. I just needed 3 sets. And then we'll tuck maybe this one here. And then we can just kind of put our sentiment over the center. So I love the label die with this one. So this is the shape and it fits all the sentiments, all of them. So I was thinking that it wouldn't fit this one, but I think you can squeak it in there. It might be off a little bit, but it fits everything. And then you have a really tiny, skinny one that you could do these ones in there. So I've got my label piece already cut out in basic white, and we are going to grab the sentiment Sending Smiles, and we're going to stamp in Secret C. Okay. And looks like I had a little smudge there. That's all right. And then if it's too stark, if it's too white, one thing you could do is just add a little color. So you could grab your Petal Pink, which is nice and soft. So grab some scrap paper here. And I would make it pretty light. And then you could grab this and you can add a little color to your label piece. And then it's not like just so white. Close that up. And then I am going to also put this on with dimensionals. But if it was getting too bulky for you, you could just use seal. And then we'll put that on. Cute. And then we have our gems. And these are fun. So there's 2 sizes in every color. I'm going to use Old Olive on this one. And I'm going to put a big one and a small one, and then a big one down there. And that is our first card with the lovely Blossoms Suite. So let's go on to our second one. We have 3 cards today, all kind of showing off a different way to use this suite. So the next one, I have a piece of cloud cover cardstock, and I have cut it the long ways. So you cut it in half at 4 1/4 by 11, and then score it in half at 5 1/2. Have a few pieces. So if you wanted to gather all the pieces for this, I've got this Petal Pink cardstock, which is 3 3/4 by 5. Then I'm using this crumb cake piece with the little flowers, and this is 3 by 4. Then I'm adding this little strip here. That's the back side of this, and I think it's 3 1/2. 3 1/2 by 1 1/2. And then I wanted one more pattern. So I have another pattern here, and I've cut mine out with the banner die. So if you had the banner dies, it would also work with the cute banner die and the Creative Haven dies, or you could just make your own. It's about 2 1/4 by 3. So you could just cut out your own and then make your own if you don't have those dies. So those are kind of all the pieces we're using. But I wanted to show off that one kind of eyelet die. So that's this one here. So grab our machine again. And our plates. Okay, and then we'll put our paper here. Let's see, get you to see that better. And then we're just gonna cut some out of the top left corner and the bottom right corner. So you do want to kind of keep it straight and kind of have them coming off a little bit on both sides. Then put your other plate on. And we'll run that through. And then it does have a lot of million little tiny pieces, but isn't that fun? And then we'll do the bottom. Can you hear that beeping? I don't know if you can hear that beeping. I want to know how to turn it off, but I don't know what's happening today. Okay. Then we have this cute little cutout piece. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can, I don't know how to turn off that. It's like a notification and it just keeps beeping, and I don't want to mute my laptop because that's where my sound is coming from. So if I mute my laptop, I'm afraid I'll lose my sound again. I don't know, technology, hey? All right, so we have our card. Then we're going to put our cutout DSP on there. So you can use liquid glue if you want. That's your thing. I'm just going to put some seal in there. Then we'll lay that on. And then next up is the 3x4 piece. So we'll put that on. Okay. And then this piece here, I'm going to tear the ends, but you don't have to do this piece if you don't want to. I've learned that some people love the tearing technique and some people really don't. So this is totally optional. And then I am going to put this on with dimensionals. Okay. And that kind of just goes across the top. Then we're going to grab our beautiful ribbon and we're just going to put it so it kind of fits like this. So I think that's about 9 inches. So we'll trim that off. And I always love when we have thick ribbon like this to use it for gift packaging. So like if you were giving a little treat and you had a cello bag and you're going to tie a bow, this is the kind of ribbon I love to use. So I just got a piece of tear and tape here and I'm just going to go back and forth like that and stick it in the tear and tape. And then I'm going to put our little banner piece on, and I am going to use more dimensionals. You could put this behind this piece if you didn't want to have another layer of dimensionals, but I just find when there's ribbon, we've got to kind of separate it from the ribbon a little bit. And so because this is already popped up and this banner piece is going to hang off the bottom, I'm actually going to double stack my dimensionals so that it's even again. So we'll just double up here. And then it should sit nice and even. Put that guy on. And next is our sentiment. So I have cut this one out in Secret C so that we can heat emboss on it. And I'm going to add a couple leaves to this one. So I've cut these out in Cloud Cover. And do we want to, oh, it's already 12:25. Wow, time's going by fast. Yeah, we'll just keep going. It's all good, right? So let's grab all our embossing stuff. So I've got my white powder, my Versamark, just finally back in stock, and my embossing buddy. So I'm just gonna rub this on. I saw a great trick this past week where if you have too much powder on there, you can, once you're done, take a plain blending brush that doesn't have any ink on it, and it'll take off the white powder. Isn't that brilliant? Some people have such great ideas, things you never think about. We'll just put our white powder on. Get this out of the way. Then because it's so small, you're going to need your little tweezers. And got a little excess there. Okay, now we're just going to heat set it with our heat tool. So you just grab your heat tool, go to number 2. So this will just take a second. Okay. So once the whole thing turns shiny, that's how you know that it's done. So that should be all good. And then I'm just going to put seal on the back of this. Kind of double it up at that end, and we'll layer up our little leaves kind of on the end. Grab our card and place that there. And then all we need to do is put our gems on. I'm going to use the cloud cover ones this time. And I'll just put 2 up here and then maybe 1 down here. And that is our second card with the lovely blossoms. If you wanted to add the flowers, but I just thought with this flowered pattern paper, just to add the leaves. And I didn't put any green on this one, so I kind of like it with just the pink and the blues. So for our final card, we're gonna have a little bit of a stepped up card here. So I've got the other half of the paper that I cut, the 4 1/4 by 11, but this time we're gonna score it a little differently. So we're going to score it at 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. So let's see here, 2 3/4. I got too much stuff going on now. 2 3/4 by 8 1/4. Okay, so we'll fold this one up. Just grab my bone folder. And this one down. Okay. I feel like, did I cut that right? I think so. I feel like I scored that wrong. I'm just going to double check. Oh boy. I want that to be 3 1/2. And then what's this one? I think it's only 2 1/2. Let's grab another one. We can make mistakes together. It's all good. I felt like when I wrote that down that I was like, is that what it is? Okay, so we're going to cut this at 4 1/4. And then I want this one to be 2 1/2, not 2 3/4. 2 1/2. And then we need the middle to be our standard 5 1/2, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/2 is 8. Okay, let's see if that works out. Okay, sorry about that. These should join up better. There we go. One's supposed to be longer than the other. That's what I wanted. Okay. So that was 2 1/2 and 8 is what we're scoring it there on the long side. Then we need some DSP. And so I have got 2 pieces because I don't like that this is kind of open like this. So I've got 2 pieces of DSP that are going to be a little bit longer, but then I'm going to have 2 because this, you can see the back. And so we're going to put 2 up together, and now that's a little bit longer so that this kind of sits over top. So we'll put, let's see here. So these pieces of DSP that I'm putting on now are 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. And so this is the striped pattern of that cloud cover DSP. And then you can use your liquid glue on this one because I want it to line up perfectly with the one on the front. And so sometimes with seal, you know, it just sticks exactly where you put it, and then it's a little hard to move. So we'll grab this and line that up. And then hopefully I can, I still can't get it to line up. We got there. The beauty is I can trim it. So if you see any excess hanging off, we can just trim that off. Okay. Yeah, I always say making your cards live is much harder than when you design them. When I design them, everything goes smoothly. It's like, oh, this is great. And then I'm trying to show you, and then it's like, what is going on? Okay, we're going to just trim this up. Okay. Now on the top, I have a piece of Petal Pink two-tone cardstock with the light side up. And then I have a piece of DSP, so that's this one. And it is 4 1/4. So this is 4 1/4 by 3, and this is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we're going to put these together first. And they do go edge to edge with a little mat on the top and bottom. Then we'll put this one on. And I'm going to leave a little border here. I feel like I still made this wrong. I did still make it wrong. I don't know what I'm doing today. I'm going to leave a little border at the top. Did I make this too long? Nope. You think everything's all smooth, but okay, so we've got this, which is fine. I'll just take some of this adhesive off with my adhesive remover. And yeah, that's all the right. I don't know what's going on. Okay, then we have a circle. So I'm going to put a circle here, and I'm just going to put it straight on. So I've cut this out of Secret Sea two-tone cardstock, and I wanted a nice big circle, so I used the dies, Spotlight on Nature dies, and just cut that out with the light side up. And then I want it to overhang a bit, so I'm just gonna put this, and you could even like look on the back side here and make sure that it's just kind of overhanging a little bit. And then for a few other fun pieces, we're going to stamp a couple more flowers. So I have just some white here, and then we're going to stamp them in Secret Sea again. And then I wanted to just add a little bit of color. Again, if you had the blends, like Cloud Cover or something blends, then you could do that. I don't have the blends. And as you know, Cloud Cover was a color that didn't work out to have in the full ink pads. But you can get the little uninked spots, so they just come plain in a set of 5, I think. And then you can get the Cloud Cover ink refill, and you can add it to it until it's totally saturated all the way through. And then you have like a little mini Cloud Cover. And so I'm just going to use a little mini blending brush. And then I'm just going to add some color to my flowers. And here we go. And while I've got the ink pad out, I am going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to stamp Hello Friend this time. And so that's done. Be sure to close this guy up. And then let's cut these out. So for this one, I've used the leaves again. And so I've cut out one set of leaves in Petal Pink. Then we're going to have the 2 flowers. So we'll line those up with our dies here. So there's 1, 2, and I get it wrong every time, but then I know I can just flip it over. You would think I would get it right more than half the time, but anyway. So we'll put those on, run those through. Sorry about the shaky camera. And then I said we were going to use this fun die. So this creates like a fun little backdrop, these little pile of circles. I don't know if we've had a die like that before. I like it. I like things that are a little bit different. So I went ahead, so here's my leaves. And then I cut it out of the DSP. So this is the back side of that, and it's the DSP. But then I only wanted half. So I just went and then trim these ones around the circle. And it's going to be mostly hidden, so if it's not perfect, then that's okay. And now I can make 2 cards out of that. And then we've got all our pieces. So I'm just going to use liquid glue on the back of that. It's just easier when it's a small piece like that. And I'm going to put my flowers and some glue dots. And I want dimensionals on the backs of my flowers. Okay. Then we should have all our pieces. So we'll grab our card, which is working out even though somehow I've scored it wrong. But it'll all work out. I send out a PDF every Friday to my email list with all the dimensions for my projects. And these cards are also going to be my current weekly class to go. So if you place an order between now and next Wednesday, you will get all the supplies, all the paper cut and prepped to make these 3 card designs. And obviously you're going to want the stamp set. I can't include stamped images, so be sure to add the stamp set to your order, or you can put it with a different flower stamp set. I'm just going to grab some, maybe not. All right, and then, yeah, so if you order between now and next Wednesday, I send this card kit out to you for free as a thank you. So we're going to put that over. And I think I'm just going to add a few little of the side pieces of the dimensionals. We could use your minis. And I'll just like put them where I know the label's going to go. And then I know that I'm not putting them on the back of the sentiment where I don't want them to be. And then now that those are all popped up, I ripped that one right off the glue dot. We can tuck our leaves kind of behind. So that one, and then the little guy, or the single, I guess. Like so. And then we'll grab our gems again, and this time I'm going to use the white ones. And then with your bone folder, you can just make your folds nice and crisp, and then the card is going to stay closed a little bit better. And maybe down there. And that is this one. Right, so then on the inside, we can put some basic white. So let me just show you what we did there. So we've got 4 by 5 1/4. And then here's something I learned from the card retreat. So I'm going to stamp a little flower down here, or the bigger flower. And I'm going to stamp one up here. We're going to grab that cloud cover ink again. And we're just going to softly add a bit of color to our flowers. And then it kind of matches the front of our card. And then you can do this to your envelope too. How cute would that look? And then a fun little detail, I forgot to grab it, so just one sec, is to use your blends. So I do have the Secret C blends. And then you can just like add cute little dots. So this was on one of the cards we did at the retreat, and I just thought it was so cute. It just adds something a little fun. And then you can add that to inside your card, and you can do the same thing on your envelope, and then everything is matching. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me again while I try to figure out all my technology. So hopefully everything worked out today. If you caught the beginning and were like, she is not talking, she's talking, but we can't hear anything. Thanks for your patience and hanging out with me today. Thanks for watching all the way from San Antonio. That's fun. And let's show you all the cards. So here is this one all done. Oh, I forgot, I added a couple gems kind of off too. So I did 1, 2, 3 like I showed you, and then I added 2 off there so that when you open it up. So like I was saying, if you're on my email list, you'll get the PDF with the right dimensions. And actually I'll add it into the description because I feel like I said it wrong a few different times. And so I'll add it to the description here, the exact dimensions of this card, so you can come back and check that out. So that was our first card, our second one, and then where did I put that first one? Our third card. So I hope that you loved the Lovely Blossom Suite and had fun making those cards today. I do appreciate you watching. Thanks so much. If you can like and subscribe to my channel, you can always do that. If you're looking for more information, you can find me online at Loretta Marie Crafts on Instagram or Facebook, and my website is lorettamariecrafts.ca. And I'll be back next week with more fun projects and hopefully all my tech stuff figured out. So thanks so much. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.